Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here, and welcome to Megaton Man Mondays. Hard to believe this is the 5th issue in our weekly series, reviewing the initial Megaton Man series from Don Simpson in the mid-'80s. It is an amazing satire superhero comic book that is so much fun. Check out the other episodes if you haven't to catch up, but you don't need to. The Megaton Man Omnibus is coming out this year. It is 2023. I declared 2023 the year of Don Simpson. He is making a comeback in a big way, starting with the Megaton Man Omnibus, followed by 1963 annual continuation of a story started by Alan Moore years ago, and then hopefully leading to new Megaton Man. So it is the perfect time to jump on the Don Simpson bandwagon, and I implore you to do so. So thanks for watching my channel. Subscribe to my channel, hit like button, and let's get right into it. Okay, so Megaton Man, number 5. Here we go. Look at this gorgeous cover. I love Don Simpson's art. It's completely evolved over the years. You know, he definitely has indie roots. He draws superheroes, like, really good. This is satirical. You know, it's a little cartoony with the anatomical proportions and whatnot. He definitely gets more realistic with his art style as the series goes on, as we see. But we're still entrenched in this indie goodness. I love this cover. I think it's so good. I'm looking forward to next week's cover because it's, like, so cool. But I don't know. I was looking at the inking, and it's funny because I'm always, like, trying to look for influences and comparisons and stuff, which is probably annoying to artists, but I don't know if I mentioned it before, and I'm thinking maybe Don Simpson was an influence on this artist, but don't you see a little Paul Pope in the inking a little bit? Okay, so it's funny because I feel like up until this point, and I knew this would happen, because, like, it's been, like, a lot of satire, a lot of, parody, and just a lot of, like, total riffs and gags and things like that. But the more we get into it, the more real the characters are becoming, and the more, you know, involved we are in their stories. And this is, like, the story of Stella Starlight. Don gave me a little background on some of this, and it's interesting because the story deals with some topics like, you know, domestic abuse a little bit, and so apparently it cost Don Simpson some licensing deals, potentially, and things like that. Things were definitely different. I mean, this is the 80s. You have all the ABC school after school specials. You have, like, Farrah Fawcett in the burning bed. So these are definitely hot button topics. And it's funny because it is addressed here in a way. And, you know, Stella is married to this old man. Stella's like, and I also have to point out, so Stella Starlight is her real name. And I love that her alias not only continues the tradition of the double, like, alliteration of, like, superhero secret identities like Clark Kent, Lois Lane, Peter Parker, but it also adds a consonant cluster to it, Stella Starlight. And then we have Phil Flug, Megaton Man's secret identity. So I had wished, like, he kind of blew it with Pamela Jointly, who is, like, the Lois Lane of this, because not only does she not have the consonant cluster double alliteration, but she has, you know, no alliteration whatsoever. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I think it would be, like, hopefully, potentially, I have a comic book coming out this year, and I think I'm totally going to make every single secret identity an alliterative consonant cluster name. Okay. Aren't you glad you're still watching this? Are you? Unbelievable. So, I feel like this is definitely more like a straightforward superhero story than we have been seeing up until this point. And I welcome it. I think it's great. The storytelling is so much fun. I love the characters. They're definitely also another influence I was seeing, just because some of the faces look, there's a face in particular in the back that you'll see. Oh, and by the way, I would like to point out, since I bitched about it so much, that you finally got a handle on the credits page. I wholeheartedly approve. Donald Simpson, cartoonist. That is how I know that a person is of my ilk when they refer to themselves as a cartoonist and wear it as a proud badge. Wendy Pini referred to herself as a cartoonist. I think Jim Rugg does. So there you have it. I'm a cartoonist. We're all cartoonists. Anyway, Ray Fehrenbach, color artist, and Bill Poplaski, color artist. So I guess we have 2 color artists on here. Dave Schreiner, editor, Dennis Kitchen, publisher, Holly Brooks, circulation. It's just a lot of fun. And I do love the coloring. It's funny because I am dying to see this in black and white. Just because the art is so beautiful. And I'm like, that's my thing. But I do have to give credit to the coloring, especially given the era. You know what I mean? Like, indie comics definitely had the upper hand, I feel, on coloring for some reason. I mean, they were a little more expensive at $2 compared to whatever Marvel cost at this time, probably 60, 75 cents. And, but look at the printing. I mean, you were not getting this kind of, like, paper and coloring at Marvel. Although I think maybe, like, because of the indies, I think maybe... they perhaps felt the need to up their game, Marvel and DC, because they would eventually get better printing and paper and whatnot. But was that like the end of comics? Like, because it took them from like a super affordable, fun, like, throwaway kind of thing, hobby, to like a more high-end sort of niche kind of thing. Any thoughts on that, guys? I mean, if you're... single with no kids and you have a good income, you can afford like $5 comic books. But if you're a little kid with an allowance, you can't, right? Anyway, I digress. I noticed the perspective in this panel is completely mimicked in a panel later in the book. It's weird, the things you notice, right? Okay, so here's the domestic violence thing. How dare this old creepster, Reed Richards wannabe, slap Sue Richards. And I was like, it made my heart sink, when I saw that. And I was like, oh, that's awful. I hate that. But the thing that I love about it is that I feel like Don Simpson was definitely ahead of the times and definitely on the right side of history. Because, and there's that repeated perspective that I was talking about earlier. Did that happen so quickly? Oh, no. It's repeated later. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm digressing all over the place. So anyway, she beats the shit out of him. And he's in the hospital for a year. And that's what I love. Because he hit her once. And she was like, oh, hell no. That was enough. But then, I mean, like, she's a superhero. Real women don't have that, luxury sometimes. He is in the hospital for a year, expecting her to be there. And I love that Stella, like, because she's having an affair with Megaton Man, but he's like, I'm in love with Pamela jointly. And so she's like, oh, I left my husband for you. And he's like, what? No, yeah, we're just like a thing, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And she's there with her suitcases and like totally like professing her love and that they can be in a relationship now while he's in the middle of this fight. And see, I do love that, like, we're getting deeper into the character development and more of the story. However, Don's commitment to like his humor and his storytelling style and the flavor of Megaton Man is still there, because it's still kind of parroting like superheroes in the best way possible, and that they notoriously have like ridiculously long conversations in the middle of fights, and like I mean, this takes that to the next level, right? And it's just fun and like just really hilarious, and just like, I don't know, like it just feels so real, like the situations and the dialogue, like you can just feel like this give and take between these characters of her wanting to be in a relationship and him being unable to articulate that he doesn't want that. And then I like, once again, the side gags continue, like, it's getting very like Warner Brothers, like there's a bear trap on his foot and a mouse running off with like a triangle of cheese, and just fun stuff like that you will find all over the place with Megaton Man. And I really super loved the art, and the coloring really added a lot to this too. There's like a lot of emotionalness to this. Dare I say, it almost moved me to emotion. Almost, guys, almost. But look at the beautiful art on this cover. So Stella is just like at such a low point. She's completely dejected by Megaton Man. She's like walking in the rain aimlessly. She has nowhere to go. She has a suitcase. And of course, here comes her husband. And this is where the realism, like the gut punching, like kick in the balls reality sets in. Like, she goes back to him because she feels like she doesn't have a choice. And I just think that that's heartbreakingly realistic. And so I mean, I think that was pretty poignant to like sort of include that in the story. You know, it's kind of realistic too, because it's like it's supposed to be like this Sue Richards thing, and you know, Reed was notoriously older than Sue and stuff. I mean, obviously Don took it to the nth degree here, but I don't know. I just really enjoy it. I think it's just really well done. I mean, and look at the art, how cool that looks there. Kirby dots. Yarn Man, I mean, one of the best, like, parody designs ever. Like, The Thing, because it's so, you know, if you're, like, I can just, you know, and luckily, since I live to pick Don Simpson's brain, I'm going to be able to do it. He's agreed to have a little post-series conversation after I wrap up issue 10, the initial Megaton Man series, so I can ask my inane questions about little stupid things that nobody else gives a crap about. But I do. And you must if you're watching. If not, then you'll never know. But like I'm saying, like, you go from orange rock to orange yarn. I mean, it's just funny. And then he makes some joke about being part of the women's auxiliary quilt club or some crazy stupid thing like that. But that's my humor right there. Thank you, Don Simpson. Beautifully drawn panel here. Looks like it could be lifted from one of Don's other series that I didn't even know existed until recently, called Border Worlds, that I just scored on eBay, so I will be covering that soon. Cannot wait for that. It promises to be more of an adult sci-fi kind of thing, but I'd imagine all the Don Simpson brilliance is still there. Let's see what else is going on in here. I love it. See, this is what I love too. Like, so funny. Like, you know, I'm just a fan of comics, cartoons, cartooning, art, animation, whatever. So if you're giving me Megaton Man busting through the wall and the silhouette of his shape, I mean, just come on, Don Simpson. I love you for that. Like, why not, right? Why not? Oh, and then so, like, he breaks her heart or whatever. And then she goes back to her adventures with the Fantastic Four. I mean, the Metropolis Quartet. And we get these gag-worthy series of splash pages of Stella just sort of... And I think it's kind of... I mean, not only is it a great, like, character piece, just, like, like showing the isolation of this character and sort of what she's going through. But she's... You know, this is all going on at the same time where she's one quarter of, you know, the world's greatest superhero team going on all these adventures and stuff. I mean, they're fighting this huge squid. I mean, come on, I just love it so much. And then, I mean, come on, Don Simpson, you're a nutbag and a half. This is hysterical. I mean, the surfer back here, but surfing on what looks like to be a pie spatula. Like, what the hell is going on here? Like, I would like to think that Don was a huge pothead at the time. I hope so. Or some kind of hallucinogenics. Probably straight-laced. He seems too put together for somebody who wasted their youth doing drugs. Oh my God, look at this. Amazing. Apparently there's some like Don Simpson King Kong thing out there that I need to find too. This is the best part of becoming like rediscovering Don Simpson at this point in my life, is that like there's so much out there that I can mine and explore, and yet still get new stuff coming out. Like I said, like I cannot wait for the new Megaton Man. I can't even imagine. Although, I don't know. It's so weird because, you know, a lot of this stuff this is before, you know, I feel like Don did such a great job of incorporating certain things in here. I mean, like, there are definitely political issues, but it's not divisive in a way. I mean, you can tell there are different types of political views, like, clashing and going on here, but I just feel like it's so different now and so divisive that it'd be hard to do it in a way that It's just so fun and friendly and feel good. I love this too. Like, so random. Pamela Jointly, she has a penchant for falling out of windows. So she does fall out this window, bounces off a spaceship, and then, I mean, it's just so whack. I love it. And then Pamela, oh, here we go with that. I said there was a likeness in here that really looked like a real person, and it's this guy that Stella has an affair with. Where did he go? Sorry. I mean, oh my God, are you guys hanging in here? I'm so all over the place, but where did he go? Anyway, he's back here. This guy, I don't know, he just looks like a real person. And then there was something that was giving me sort of like Drew Friedman vibes, and I thought, I don't know, right? Do you see it a little bit? Great splash page there. George has a gun. Can we just stop and appreciate the beauty of this page? I love this page for so many reasons. Hardcore cannot wait to see this in freaking black and white, because this is going to be epic. I know that. Spaceship looks amazing. I just love this art. Once again, I feel this is such a great companion for like Grant Morrison and Flex Mentallo's, Frank Whiteley's Flex Mentallo. That was it. That is totally like, you know, that was taken from a photo reference. It has to be. I'm not accusing you of like being the next Greg Land or anything there, but you definitely, this feels like a real person. So if I were coloring it, and I do color Don Simpson stuff. Oh, maybe I'll attach a colored piece of Don Simpson art that I did at the end of this video just for fun. I promised I was going to do that, so I'll do that. But I would have like done a color hold and have it look like white chalk. But I don't know what the coloring tech capability was at the time, but I feel like they could have done that. Anyway, fun. I love that it's like artist rendering. Hilarious. Just those little nuggets that Don throws in there that I just love. And I love that. Okay, so this is an alien disguise, and he looks so much like Frodo. What is the fucking actor's name? Oh, I'm sorry, I said the F word. I got called out for dropping the F-bomb on my She-Hulk video, and I'm so sorry. But, you know, it's not for kids, guys. None of this is. Hell is for children, not my videos. Everyone should know that. Very Frodo, right? Like, suddenly it becomes Lord of the Rings. Elijah Wood. How could I forget you? Don Simpson. If you read Megaton Man, but not these other fine Kinship publications, all I can say is you're a lousy American. Says noted comic book character Megaton Man. Yarn Man. I mean, a lot of Will Eisner, right? I have no love for Will Eisner. I don't have anything against him except that he was potentially a racist. But I don't know. Just never got into it. I'm willing to have my mind changed for historical prosperity. Yes. Once again, Don, do you have any of these buttons? Do me a solid and send me something, for Christ's sakes. I know you probably don't have any of it. But look, everyone knows I love a Don Simpson silhouette, and there we got one in this button. So amazing. Once again, thanks so much, guys, for watching. I feel like, we're halfway through the first arc of Megaton Man. Megaton Man Mondays continues to be a huge success with dozens of views. So keep coming back next week. Subscribe to my channel to make sure you're notified when the next Megaton Man Monday video drops, which will be next week. Happy 2023. The year of Don Simpson is finally upon us. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit like and come back for more next week.